Hello, my fellow professional mahjong players. Have you ever seen a button and immediately felt a compulsion to press it? Like the smooth-brained unga-bunga barbarian you are at your core? Well, I wish I could say it's just a phase, but every time I see a Riichi or a con button, my inner demon comes out and demands I press it. I don't because I have a brain, but yeah. This is a very normal reaction that every sane human encounters, and I have done my due diligence and proven it with multiple sources. However, we can fight these demons and send them back to where they belong, with the most powerful tool a mahjong nerd owns: facts and logic. So, let's drill down into the Yaku named Riichi, and see if we can't unearth when and when not to slam that beautiful, alluring button. God, that's a sexy button. Let's just go forward, yeah. So, what is Riichi? Well, it's the most phonetically pleasing word in the world. Also, it's one of the most straightforward Yakus ever, and the most unique too. If you hit Tenpai with a closed hand, as in no calls, you may tell everyone else on the table you are in Tenpai and aren't going to pivot from this hand. This is expressed by dropping your next discard sideways, and typically putting 1,000 big boy points in the center. This move limits the player, and they must auto-discard every draw for this round until they roll, or sumo, or something more unfortunate happens. This is essentially the player putting on sunglasses and saying, "I ain't no bitch, watch me win." Why else do you think we put our next discard sideways? Riichi is the equivalent of turning your hat backwards, or summoning a pharaoh from your grandpa's necklace. Now you might be like, neat, I love being bold in mahjong, but why take on this risk? Well, that's easy. It adds 1 plus X Han to a hand. And when you have no other Yakus, this is the typical way to gain a win condition. That mysterious X I just mentioned represents how much uradora your hand contains, which means bonus Dora essentially. The ura indicators of this being the tiles underneath the exposed Dora indicator. So now you might be like, okay, still neat, but how likely is it even to hit an ura? Well, if you would just stop asking questions and let me talk uninterrupted, you'd see I have a graph here for that. Shwam. If you don't want to read, basically just know every con makes order chance go up a lot, but it's never guaranteed, so luck shitting. Flow-based gameplay. Let's do a small experiment here to show the strength of Riichis. Here we have a dealer in Riichi. Their discards make one think they're inside, and they've dropped an Aka. And we see no doors, so they might be packing some heat. So let's say Riichi, Tanyao, maybe 1 or 2 doors. I'm guessing 3 Han to 4 Han from dealer. For the sake of science, we'll reveal the hand. And we see they have 3 Han: Riichi, Tanyao, Pinfu. Nothing crazy, but the jump from 2 Han to 3 Han is pretty worth it already. Now let's say they win our roll. Well, time to flip that indicator. And we see they score themselves double ura. Well shit, that 5.8k just jumped to 12k. Ouch. You might be like, well, that was dealer, so of course it was worth it. And what if they hadn't hit uradora? Well, if you don't raise your hand for the next question, I'm going to send you straight to the Shadow Realm, you pesky question asker. Also, the jump for dealer from 2 Han to 3 Han is pretty big by itself. But fine, let me show you a non-dealer hand. Here we have someone with Tanyao and Aka 3. The hands already were 4 Han, so a Riichi would put them at 5 Han. They jump from 7,700 to 8k, hardly worth it, right? Well, I'd agree with you in most cases, but let's say the score looks a little something like this. 3rd place, and itself too. Not great, but not dog shit. I would personally slam that button. Not just for the chance of ura, but because of the chance of sumo parting the clouds and giving me that sweet, sweet honeymoon I deserve. 'Cause I'm a 5-star man. Now, how about an Ipeko and a Pinfu hand? Riichi bumps it to 3 Han. And I said earlier that could be a huge bump. Well, how about we say it's South 4, and you're West C already in first. That Dom is looking pretty approachable right now, huh? Do you perhaps see what I'm alluding to with that last example? If you answered one of these, Riichi always, Morhan good. Dealer always Riichis, and maybe Riichi as non-dealer. Me like button. Well, congrats. I failed you as a teacher, and you're the reason I have to self-medicate to keep myself sane. The answer I'm seeking is Riichi is a situational Yaku. Sure, it gives us one extra Han with a chance of bonus, but it also denies us from upgrading our hand, kills our ability to be defensive, allows every player to play more defensively around us, and allows some players to use our discards to make others deal into them. And to clarify, I'm not condoning the people who wait one turn before reaching. You know who you are. You're sick in the head, stop doing it, it's bad. I'm begging you, I hate seeing it when I commentate. There is more I could nitpick, and sometimes these bullet points are unimportant, in context. Hear that word? Context. As in a proper reachi should only be done once you understand the situation. What about double reachi, whale? Does context matter there too? What do you think, viewer? Because I think you can figure that one out by yourself. I'd honestly call when to and when not to reachi one of the most important aspects of getting good at Mahjong. But if I'm being real, the answer can usually be click button, smooth brain thoughts good. That's right, I just went on a rant about risk and situational awareness to tell ya, just click the stupid button. I know, basically it's the equivalent of telling people not to fuck and then handing out condoms after sex ed. I know you're gonna do it, but at least you know the facts now when you're doing it. I hope I imparted some sort of wisdom upon you about Riichi and made you think about button pressing in general, but probably not. Well, goodbye.